when I was growing up, if you dare to say you wanted to lose to your division rival, the Dallas Cowboys, you'd get punched in your freaking face.
Welcome to True Blue with Mike Viv and LPG.
I got to talk about trash skins real quick because I remember, and look, there are receipts out there. Go on Twitter, try and find it. I never wanted Haskins. The Giants fan base were going crazy for him, and I'm not going to tell the people that wanted Haskins they were wrong because he was so overly blown hype that everybody wanted him. It got so bad that even me, I said, yeah, I would take him. I wouldn't throw him out. I probably would take him over Jones, but I don't want him. I was very adamant about that. And the reasons being, Mike, you could call me crazy. You could call BS. I just felt that he was lazy. I felt like he was going to let his body go. I felt like he was going to be a fat slob. I felt like he was going to be a cheeseburger away from Jamarcus Russell. I said it a million times.
Yeah.
As soon as he got to the league, first of all, I was wrong. He came in his second year in better shape, which I was I was nervous about because I really did think he was just going to be a fat slob. But I know people on the Redskins, the Washington football team.
Yes, you do.
I know a few people. The guy just doesn't understand football playbooks.
And being a real pro. He does,
I believe he will learn that part, Mike. He will, Mike, he's a young kid.
He gets a chance to learn it.
No, look, he went unclaimed, so nobody wants his ass.
Right.
He's probably going to be brought into camp somewhere next year if he's in the right mind frame. He's going to battle out for a backup position.
Yep.
Maybe the quarterback gets hurt and he comes in, plays well, and is a starter in 2 years from now.
Yep.
But that's going to rely on whether he is focused enough that he is going to become a professional football player. You can't tell me that the day of the draft, when he started charging people to get into the draft party, that Bo Callahan, he's Bo Callahan.
Yeah. Nobody
likes the dude.
No, you're right. You're right.
So whatever.
We got some receipts of that for sure.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm on there somewhere. I did say that I probably would take him over Jones because I bought into the hype as well. Did I tell you the story about Jones and I the night before the draft?
Maybe.
So I'm in the hotel. It's the night before the draft, and Jones is walking by with his family, and I stop him and I say, Daniel Jones. He's like, yeah. I'm like, hey, my name is Joe. I root hard for the Giants, and I didn't get into the license plate guy thing and this and that. No need because, unless he was going at 17. So I said to him flat out, and I posted a picture on Instagram the night I met him. I said, look, you're going to look great in Giants blue.
Yeah, you did.
Not at 6.
Not at 6, yeah.
And I said it to him. I was like, if you're around at 17, you're going to be wearing Giants blue.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, that'd be great. I mean, I'm sure he said that to every fan he met. And look, you could go back to the draft and my reaction all you want. My reaction, and I say this for the trillionth time, my reaction was not of Daniel Jones. My reaction was not of Josh
Yeah.
Allen.
Yeah.
When
the thing is, that week, that 2 or 3 days before, all of a sudden Daniel Jones was everywhere in our rumorville.
Yeah, it's true.
It hit really hard. So when you said that, because you had already had that, you already know, you saw the rumors it was going. So you're like, it's a little bit of a stretch at 17, but you're so on our radar that now we're thinking you're our guy. We know we're drafting a QB. It's going to be 17, but it's going to be 17.
I mean, look,
guys.
You and I talked about this at another event we were at, and I told you if the Giants want their guy, then you go get your guy. And if he works out, Dave Gettleman, whether he's fired this year in 2020 or not, he will be the guy that brought another 2 championships to New York because Daniel Jones worked out. Even in 5 years from now, whatever.
You're right.
If Daniel Jones doesn't work out, not only did Gettleman suck for the years that he was here, he drafted that shit quarterback, and that's what you're going to get.
Yeah, you are. I think it'll be probably other decisions besides Daniel Jones right now.
Yeah.
For Gettleman.
Hey, look, I want a change at GM, and I only want a change at GM. He has made some horrific acquisitions. He has made some terrible decisions. He has made some trades I don't like. He's also done some really good things and brought in some really good players, especially this year.
Totally.
But you can't take away years of crap because he nailed a few free agents or draft picks. Nope. I personally, I don't know. I want a moving forward, modern day GM that understands the new modern day player, understands his wants and needs, and I don't think that's Gettleman.
Well, he has his positives are that he has turned us over pretty well to young. I don't know if they're great players, but he's turned over the team to a very young roster, which is amazing.
100%.
Very young defense, looks very talented. I don't, some of the offensive tools he's put in place are obviously not working out. If we win 2 games, if we've won 2 of these games this year, we're having a different conversation today. If we won more than 2, we're having a totally different conversation. So I want to listen. We will beat Gettleman conversation in the offseason for forever.
If he's still here, or else we won't be talking about it.
Or we won't. When he's fired, you'll be back saying I wanted this, and let's see who we get. And if he isn't, then the whole fan base is going to start.
You know what, Mike? I put out a post today on Twitter, and I asked everybody, you want to go to win the division at 6-10, or do you want the number 3 pick in the draft? Now, look. In order for the Giants to get the number 3 pick in the draft, the stars have to align, and it's such a weird thing for me to say because they were not going to get the 3rd pick in the draft, but there is an outside chance they could. And the reason why I put that in there is just to entice which one do you really want. Right. I could have said pick number 10. Instead, I used 3. But most of the people went with the playoff spot, which I really loved because when I was growing up, if you dare to say you wanted to lose to your division rival, the Dallas Cowboys, you'd get punched in your freaking face.
Seriously.
So I love the fact. Now, look, most of my followers know I'm a big homer anyway, so most of them are going to go on and choose what I want them to choose anyway, which would have been going to the playoffs. If the Giants go to playoffs and they lose, I don't give a shit. They went to the playoffs, and that's what I wanted. They won the division title.
Right. Well, this is the portion of the show where I'm going to call you out on something for today.
Bring it.
I'm going to call you out on this. It's not what you think, but I'm going to call you out on this, and then we're going to go through the 3 or 4 different schools of thought that we're facing going into this weekend.
No. Can I interrupt you for 1 second?
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. I just thought of this point. The reason why I put that out, the reason why I started this conversation is because I put that out there was somebody asked me if the Giants make the playoffs, LPG, Gettleman stays. And I said to myself, I wrote him back and I said, okay, so new poll. Playoffs, Gettleman stays. No playoffs, Gettleman leaves. I'm still going with staying then.
Okay.
It's better to win, get in and keep, or get out and trash. You still have to get someone else. I want you to call me out on something.
It's not what you're thinking, but this is what I want to call you out on.
Go ahead.
You're too nice to the people who are picking losing.
You want me to go a little harder at them?
I want you to go a little. I see you're doing these kind of paragraphs of PC answers It's like, be a fan. It's your fandom. I don't care what you care. I care about what I care. It's my fandom. Everyone has a fandom. I disagree. There's a right and a wrong here. There's a right and a wrong. And that poll, you were like, and I said, like, oh, this is ridiculous that someone would choose this. You're like, oh, it's going to be closer than you think. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous for a number of reasons. One, the stars have to align to get a third pick. Two, if we do win the division, that means we beat Dallas this weekend. Dallas just put it on Philadelphia, and they actually looked pretty good. And they were
Dallas' defense sucks, and the Giants should put up points this week.
They should put up points, right? But that means we played the right game. The game we played against Seattle, we played a game. We're going to play again against Dallas in a really tough spot to win. A win against Dallas in itself. This is a playoff game, right? It shows a lot of guts. That's right. Then
yes, sir.
We get we get the win we need from Philadelphia. Again, something else that has to happen in our favor. And we get this gift of having a home playoff game against Tampa Bay, who we took down to the wire at home this season.
Let me ask you a question.
Why can't people understand that this is for the team and the coach?
Let me ask you a question. What's your it's a terrible analogy. What's your favorite food?
Chicken parm.
Mine too, by the way. So we're at an Italian restaurant, me and you, and I'm telling you.
Where are you going with this?
I know it's a horrible analogy, bro. It's horrible. Actually, I'm liking it the more I'm thinking about it. And I'm telling you, Mike, you got to go with the meatball parm. You have to. Hold on. Let me finish my freaking analogy before it's terrible. And you come back with, no. I want the chicken parm. I've had it here. I love it. Mike, the meatball parm is the way to go. And I'm going to make sure that you think that way. Do I have any shot in changing your mind? Yes or no? Yes or no?
You're just saying it's not just worth talking about?
Yes or no? I'm asking you.
Yes,
Am I going to make you?
Yes, you have a shot.
Oh, you're so full of shit. I have a freaking, now I am going to go with people. No, I'm not going to change your mind. You're going to get the chicken parm. No, you're going to get the chicken parm because that's what you believe in. And so why would I go with you? Why would I go with a negative Nancy online when I'm not going to change your mind anyway?
All right. You're absolutely 100%. That was correct. That was a bad analogy.
Oh, you're such a I thought you were going to be like, oh, actually, that's pretty nice. Yeah, it's a horrible analogy, but you get my drift.
I do get your drift. I do get your drift. I get why you don't do it, too, and first of all, I can completely emphasize with you on social media. It's a whole different animal that you deal with in that day-to-day nonsense. So that's
nonsense. I had to block a parody account. Now there are LPG parody accounts now.
So that's what I mean. So there's a couple different moving pieces here. But all I wanted to say was I thought you were being too nice today.
All right, I'm going to go hard at someone. I'm going to say, True Blue told me, baby.
Seriously, dude, you have to think about it like that. I can't even believe it. All right, so the avenues that we possibly have here.
Yep, shoot.
The avenues that we possibly have here all lead to okay things, like getting the third pick.
That's a really good.
It's okay.
All just okay. Yeah, you're right.
Getting the third pick is okay. Losing and finding, I don't know what we're not gonna get the third, so we'll probably get like a 6 or a 7, right?
I'm assuming the 7th pick of the draft.
Right, if we lose. So it depends if we lose and then
Mike, don't even start. There's so many scenarios.
Right.
Does it matter if you pick 7th or 17th, or you know what I mean? Like, and the only reason why I say that, hold on. If we go back, I mean, look at the players that were taken that are stars this year. They were not taken in the top 10.
No, man, there weren't.
So you draft where you draft, and you get the gem. You find the gems.
Right. There's plenty of talent out there. And that's the other thing I was going to say as part of scenarios. You move from 3 or 4 or 5 to 7 or 8 or 9. You still have to pick the right guy.
7 and 17, that might not be, but like 7 and like 12. Yeah.
have to draft the right guy. You know what I mean?
You have to draft the right guy. And you know what? That's not only your GM, that's not only your coaching staff. And you gotta seriously rely on your scouts. And your scouts are like mini GMs, and they're evaluating talent all over the place. And the Giants did a little overhaul on that, and hopefully they're doing their jobs right now, because if they're not scouting a wide receiver at 1 or an edge rusher at 1, then they're doing something wrong. That's not saying that I wouldn't take Parsons, the linebacker, at 1. That's not saying I wouldn't take Sewell if he was there when the Giants are picking. That's not saying any of that. Choice, Giants are picking 7, 8, 9. Best available wide receiver if he's on the board, not the second or third choice, the number 1 guy or the number 1 edge rusher.
Are you saying your number 1 guy?
No.
Number 1 guy.
No.
On their
the number 1 receiver's got to be on the board for the Giants. I don't want that they had on their pick at number 2 because the number 1 guy they wanted wasn't there.
Okay, fine. But their guy they want. Say they want Jamari Chase, right? And he's still there. Some other receiver goes 3, and he's there at 7. Now a receiver went, but the Giants on the Giants board.
That's an excellent point. Who do you think the top 2 receivers are right now?
Probably Smith and Chase. I think that's pretty obvious.
Period.
Yeah.
I really like Smith, but I think he's light in the ass.
He is. He's thin. He's a little low.
And how big is Chase compared to him?
I don't know. Want to look it up?
Yeah, I do. I want to, and who's the third receiver? Whatchamacallit is good too. But I still wouldn't take him because the 2 top would be off the board. But you bring up an excellent point, Mike.
Chase,
the number.
Yeah, sorry, 6 foot 207. Chase, that's it.
And Smith is what? 205.
Well, 207 is not bad for 6 foot.
Light in the ass too. Like 15.
You want a guy who's 6'4".
I do.
Smith is 6'1", 174.
Oh, he's so light in the ass.
30 pounds lighter.
Jesus Christ! In the NFL, I don't know. I
was a little thicker than that.
I tell you, the number 1. You're gonna find this really funny. I remember the Giants. This wide receiver fell to the Giants a while back, and I remember I used to root heavily for him. I just thought he was a great college football player. And when I finally got to meet him on the Giants, I was like, this dude is light in the ass. Holy cow. Manningham. Manningham. And when I saw him, I was like, and don't forget, like in college, he had the big ass pads. He just looked big.
Sure.
Now, what's Manningham's size, by the way? Look that up.
So I will. And so for all of our listeners, light in the ass, just explain exactly, just thin.
Yeah, light in the ass means I could push you over, bro. And if I could push you over, you're light in the ass.
Well, Manningham, his height is 6 foot. I guess his weight might be different. 185 is what they list him at.
All right. So now
right.
what did you think about Manningham's whole career? It was good. Was it great?
Yeah.
He's not a number 1 receiver.
Well, that's why he was a 3rd round draft pick. I mean,
that is 1,000% correct. But you know why he was a 3rd round draft pick, right?
Yeah, because you look light in the ass.
No, not necessarily.
Yes.
He had some troubles, like Ahmad Bradshaw troubles.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. What is it? Is that on there too? Is that on Google somewhere?
What, his troubles?
Yeah.
I'm sure it is. It's just not right here.
Yeah, I don't know whether it was weed or stole something or whatever. Just like, Bradshaw. What did he steal? A PlayStation or something?
Yeah. you should get Bradshaw to give away.
No, you know what's funny? I should get Chase a PS5 and then say it was stolen. And he drops to the Giants.
You should get Bradshaw to do a drawing, and instead of drawing, he takes the PS5 and runs. Oh,
Hey,
man.
what do you think about this picture I just had framed? What do you think about this?
Oh man, that's sick. That's I don't know. See, it's a special person who gets that one. You know what I mean? Like you doesn't matter. You take everything. You have everything under the sun. But like I looked at when I saw that one at your house, I was like, that's so dope. But what do I do exactly with that? That's money.
I actually got a couple of the of those things to get them framed. You know, if when I do a Blue Friday again, when that, you know, I didn't realize framing is expensive, man.
Yeah, it really is. Especially because you got to get it matted and you got to get it done right.
It's the double mat that kills you.
You got to get it done right.
Yeah.
That's dope. So, that one you're sending that to somebody or no?
No. I'm already stocking up for next. Hey, you know what? I found these in my crawl space. I don't even know why I have them, but he was my favorite player back. Not my favorite player. I admired him.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, I got a couple of Bo Jackson autograph picks.
That's a good.
I don't know where I get all of this crap from. I really don't. Who should sign this?
Don't show your age. That's all. Who should sign that?
Who should sign the last pick of the old stadium?
What is that's just like the last pick of the old stadium? It's like the last game or something?
Yeah.
If you had to have one person,
yeah.
If you had to have one person sign a pick of the last, I would say the person.
Yeah, I'd want it to be Wellington Mara.
Well, right, exactly. I was going to say if it's not going to be the Maras, I would say Parcells, I guess.
Why? He wasn't around.
Well, he wasn't around, but it's his stadium. You know what I mean? That's the point.
It's his stadium.
Yeah, well, right. I mean, he's the guy. The only.
I think I might. Maybe I put.
That's not true.
Maybe I put Phil Simms and Otis Anderson on there, two MVPs.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's much more. I think that's much more doable. Yeah.
It's much more doable than Wellington.
Yeah. All right. So what's going to happen? So let's break it down. The last bit before we prayer up for Sunday.
Playoffs, baby!
I have a special guest coming on with us next week for what we're hoping is the playoff preview. I will tease that later in the week. Dude, I don't think people realize. Someone on your Twitter, and I will find it, and I'll just screenshot it and put it over this. Someone on your comment, I must follow him as well because I see the comment. You know, someone commented a playoff experience of a young team, a young coach, a young organization, whatever, is so much worth more than 4 picks higher in a draft.
Yes.
And I don't even think the fan base realizes it because every one of those, and I had one of my good friends, die hard. For the first couple of years I knew him, he wouldn't watch the games by himself. He wouldn't come out with us to the bar. He wouldn't come to my house. He'd have to watch him. He was a very, very into it. Go to camp, does all the stuff. He wrote, I'd rather just miss the playoffs than have this dog shit offense play and embarrass me or something like that. And just
Oh, you don't think there's thousands of people that have their tweets saved up in their draft for when the Giants get blown out versus Tampa Bay in the playoff game? You don't think that they're waiting to trash us? Ha ha ha! License plate guy, I told you if they made the playoffs, they were gonna suck it up. Now you're picking 5 picks later. It's like, shut up, dude. They're in the playoffs. Like, I know they have them saved up in their drafts, ready to go.
And I don't think what they realize is if they made the playoffs, this is what's going to happen. Let's walk through it. They're going to beat Dallas. I don't care how that happens. They get a win, a playoff caliber win. And
they knock Dallas out. Keep going.
Knock Dallas out, and then they get lucky. And Philadelphia does their thing. Fine, that's great. But we made it. So we did that. They're going to be pumped. We're coming off a win after a 3-game losing streak.
Hey, what time is the Giants game?
1.
What time is the Eagle game?
8. Yeah.
I forgot.
But that's okay. That's okay if we win. It's okay both ways, really. You don't watch. I mean, I'll probably watch. I'll end up watching everything, but I'm we're gonna be like completely.
You know that I'm about as positive as they come. If the Giants take care of their business and Washington wins, it's going to be devastating. Because
devastating.
It is. And then the same Twitter people with the same tweets that saved up in their draft. I told you they should have lost today because now we're one victory more in the draft order. We should have lost.
There's no way that whoever the Haskins replacement dude was, Heineke, whatever his name is, I mean, come on. Alex Smith, different story. So Jalen Hurts, the way Eagles are playing, and my son's really afraid of this. He's afraid the Eagles won't play at full because they have nothing to play for.
Actually, tell your son this. When that happens and a team is knocked out, people have to start playing for jobs.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. And they have a rookie QB like Jalen Hurts. He still wants to prove everything right now.
Right, because he had a crap game last week. He wants to prove that he does belong. And actually, it's a perfect scenario for the Giants because Hurts does want to prove that he's better than Wentz.
Exactly.
And that's still up for debate in Philly.
No
I don't give a shit. I love the quarterback controversy.
No question. However, Alex Smith makes me much more nervous than whoever that dude was who couldn't throw the ball 20.
I'm in a total agreement with you.
So we take care of the business. That means we beat Dallas. That means we basically won a playoff game in my eyes. Then we have to start preparing the next day. I refuse to believe that Judge will not have this team prepared. / now you're experiencing what preparation for a playoff game. And
dude, not prepared. The guy doesn't celebrate Christmas.
Yeah, right? Let's put Christmas on hold for a little bit and let's talk about it. Actually,
looking back at it, not celebrating Christmas and preparing for Baltimore was an absolute terrible comment because he obviously only did Christmas and didn't prepare for anything.
I don't know, but that was a Colt McCoy game. So listen.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't the Colt McCoy. What was it?
It was freaking last week.
That was when Daniel Jones was gimping around. Oh, that was last
week.
That was last week. And McCoy was the game before.
Yes.
Jones, we have not heard about him on any injury reports. We've not heard about him being talked about. He did not run again at all last week. He's still not 100. He's still not 100. Maybe that's a whole different story. This team that played the offense that played against Dallas the first game, Tampa Bay, the first Tampa Bay game, the Eagles game that Evan Ingram dropped that first down catch. That offense would win these games that we just played. That offense would score 21 on the Cardinals.
Yeah, I actually, dude, the guy gets pressured in just under 2.5 seconds.
Did you see that? Did you see that thing about the 2.5 seconds today? Oh,
right,
God.
which is a gross statistic if you're Daniel Jones. However, and he threw some beautiful passes, but I got on his case this week on Twitter. He had a couple of passes that I was quite upset with. I thought he had a couple of the bomb he threw was underthrown because he tried this touch. Just freaking throw the ball. I need to see a lot more out of that guy. And yes, he needs weapons. And I don't care. All the Daniel Jones haters out there, guy's not going anywhere. He's here next year. He might even be here. He might even be here the year after that.
Yeah.
And we'll be suffering if he's not good. If he turns out to be good, he's going to be flourishing.
Does he have his freaking feet? Does he have his legs for Dallas? If he has his legs for Dallas and actually steps up and run, does anything he did in the first 5 games of the season where he was a super threat to run the ball, you're seeing what all these mobile quarterbacks are doing to everybody. Baker Mayfield did it to us. Everyone did it to us. Jones was that guy for the first 7 games. Just if he's that guy, I believe we are. I give us full confidence against Dallas, but he can't sit in the pocket and be a pocket passer with these little weapons. And what's his name? Mac dropping incredible 2-foot fucking passes.
Is Jones calling you right now? Was that him? That I heard your phone ring. Was that him?
That wasn't me.
Oh, no, wasn't you?
Was it you?
It was Jones calling me.
It was Jones calling you. What
Yeah.
is that?
Should I ask him? Should I ask him if he's healthy?
Who was it for real?
Daniel Jones.
What does he want?
I don't know.
What does he want? A jersey to wear? Was it Colt McCoy want a Hostetler jersey?
No. It was Colt McCoy wearing a Gifford jersey.
Ah, there you go. It was Daniel Jones wearing does he want an Eli jersey? That would be cool.
No, he doesn't want an Eli jersey.
Does he want to give away an Xbox?
I'm done with this one, man. I can't do anymore. My head's going to explode.
Does he want to be the face of the charity softball game?
I am pushing hard for I'm going to push hard for someone like a Blake Martinez. I think I wouldn't mind giving money to St. Jude's. I think Blake Martinez would probably love something like that. My biggest concern is that it's not going to take place next year. I think
5 months from now, no, it's not.
It's not taking place. I think I'm going to have to book 2022.
That shouldn't be your biggest concern. Your biggest concern, which I think is already taken care of, is how long is he signed for?
That's a good question. Didn't he sign up?
He signed a good deal. So that should be your biggest concern.
Yeah, you're right. Actually,
who do we have under the control for the furthest? That's who we should get for the softball game.
I think Devontae Smith charity softball game kind of sounds pretty good.
Where is he from?
I think Louisiana. I think Louisiana and then Alabama. I mean, Alabama.
By way of Alabama.
I think so.
You know who would be actually another good one? And I say that because, like, the local guy, Logan Ryan, just signed.
You know what? That's actually a really good one too. I was kind of thinking Nico Lalos.
Yeah, you love Nico Lalos.
I don't know. Maybe a Kyle Fackrell. He's going to get cut this year. It's going to be safe. It's going to be a savings of, I don't know, $5 million or something. Nate Solder's going to be cut. That's a $10 million savings.
Zeitler. Zeitler.
No, I don't know about Zeitler. Maybe I think Golden Tate. That's going to save us $5-6 million. So you're looking at $20-something million right there, and you go and you sign Robinson from the Bears, and you draft an edge rusher, and holy shit, you got two weapons for the money we just talked about.
Probably draft another offensive lineman in there as well. What about?
You know what? Take Sewell. No problem. Take him home.
What about if Soldier retires?
It doesn't matter. It comes off the books.
Yeah, but it's different if we cut him if he retires.
Trust me, my friend. If he's retiring tomorrow, the Giants will cut him today. If he's retiring on March 7th, the Giants will cut him March 6th.
Okay. Right, exactly. Right.
Yeah, whatever it is. You sign him to a $1 one-day contract if you want. All I know is cut his ass.
Right.
Or restructure him to a real deal.
Right, exactly. That actually is probably another.
And by the way, Mike, I'm not a Solder hater. I don't like everybody out there that's a Solder hater. It's not fair to him. We needed an offensive tackle, something fierce. In free agency, you get B players for A money. That's it. And I didn't hate it at all. Everybody said Norwell was signed. Everybody said we're going to get that. Who's the old guy with the Rams with the freaking gray all over his face? What's his name? We were going to get him. We were going to get Norwell. And we got Solder. And I didn't hate it.
Yeah, sure. I mean, he takes a year off. He comes back. Maybe he's fresh. You're looking at a guy who wanted Joe Thomas. That would have been a huge mistake.
Yeah, that would have been a bad mistake. Now he's light in the ass like Devontae Smith light.
100 pounds. All right, so this is it, brother. This is it. We can have a much different conversation next week. Obviously, we both hope that it goes into a way. The fan base is not going to know how to control themselves if we make the playoffs. I don't think they realize you make the playoffs, everything is super hype, intense on that. There's only what is there now? There's an extra team, right? There's an extra wild card. So now you have whatever the amount of the 14 teams that make it, the 7 from the end. Like it's like this takes on a whole new life of its own, and to be included in that.
How many Giants fans do you think are going to be mad?
There's going to be some. There are going to be some that are these stupid draft pick people who think that we can't win, so get the draft pick, which is the dumbest thing ever.
All you did was extend the season by a week, and I'm going to say you're damn right.
You're damn right. And get this, you freaking idiots. What if you win? What if we win that game at home?
You got to be in it to win it, baby. Why not us?
In that team to the team that we lost by 2 points.
Why not us?
Win that game to a 43-year-old quarterback who we beat in 2 gigantic games.
Speak your mind, Mike.
What if we win that game? Then what are you going to say? Then we're in the divisional round and you still think it wasn't worth it because our draft pick? Come on.
Mike, I see there's 211 people watching us right now. Tell all 211 that the Giants are going to the playoffs, baby.
Bro, the Daniel Jones that we need Daniel Jones. That's what we need. He said, bro. I had to take a breath. I had to take a little gasp there. The Daniel Jones that we need 90% of the Daniel Jones we had in the beginning of the season, because last week he was about 65. He needs to run.
Giants
30 rushing yards out of this guy.
Giants are winning this game. Yes, they have a hard time putting points on the board. Dallas defense stinks. Gallman's going to go over 100. The Giants are winning 27-17. They're going to win. We're going to wait hours for the Giants to get into the playoffs because the Eagles are going to beat Washington, who's totally in a spiral. I think that although it was a good move to get Haskins off the team, I think it upset a couple of players. I think they're in disarray in the locker room. I think they picked the wrong time to do it. I think Rivera did the right thing, though, because he beat cancer now twice this year, once personally and 2 for his team. And the Giants are winning this game versus Dallas, 27-17. License plate guy out. Bye.
And the only thing we have to do is stay blue. Because that's the day.
Hey, Mike, stay blue.
Welcome to True Blue with Mike Viv and LPG.